nervous for a second. Ooh, I got the blue one.
You get the blue one.
Get the blue Wakadu. This is the slightly anorexic cousin of the Xbox One controller. Or the Xbox controller.
Can I get you a beverage, Sean?
I'm okay for now, thank you. Right. Do you see they're bringing them back?
What?
Some company's making the original Xbox controller.
Potato controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
What game are we sampling next?
This is Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour.
Twitch found it.
Wow, really?
People play.
Someone streamed it before?
I guess.
That's kind of amazing. So this game, this will be a short one for us.
Okay. I like short ones. I don't know. I'm one of those gamers that just, especially when you do stuff like live or recorded. Like, anytime I try to do a Retro Wednesdays episode with like something that's super long, it just sucks. Like, it's just an awful experience. Like, we've tried to do Zelda 2 like 100 times, and it never works because we're always annoyed by it because it just takes too long.
So, a little backstory on this one. This is a Mario Kart ripoff. We'll be upfront about that. It is a Mario Kart ripoff that involves Disney World. Here you go. So you got the opening sequence here. We're flying around Walt Disney World. The audio working on this or what?
It is just really low. Let me
Would you jack the volume up a little bit because that's kind of part of the
yeah. Hang on
magic
one
here
second.
to this game.
Let me just make sure that it's.
I know Frank knows this game well.
I just want to listen for a second. Yeah, I'll jack it up just slightly. Hang on one sec.
Sean's gonna. So the weird thing about
the joy of using old games, I gotta constantly adjust everything.
It's not just the TV you got it, or is it?
No, I was gonna do both. And then I'm gonna tap up the mix.
There's Jiminy Cricket.
Just because, you know, the people that are watching, I don't want to leave them out.
No, I listen. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. There's another.
Now that I switched over to OBS Studio and stopped using that shit already. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That was what we used the first time we did the 24-hour live stream. I wanted to kill
myself. That's why you had so many problems. Yeah. I don't know the studio is out there.
Well, there were a million problems because the first thing was we were trying to we didn't know anything about what we were doing, so we tried streaming in like 1080 and it was like chunky and it was like
can't do it.
You can't do old games like that, at least in my experience.
Okay.
All right.
So this is we'll just do a versus race.
Okay.
Against each other. So there are characters in this game that you will not see anywhere else.
Huh.
Amanda Sparkle, Tiara Damage, who strangely enough looks like the final boss of DuckTales for Nintendo a little bit.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Don't know if there's a connection. You have Dale, Jiminy Cricket, XUD71, which I don't think was the name of the robot in DuckTales, was it?
No, I thought it was.
What was his name?
He had like a normal name.
Wasn't it like Duckbot or something?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Then you got this guy, Bruno Biggs, who seems to be a bully Mickey Mouse fan. Then you got Mo Whiplash, who I believe is one of the Country Bears.
Isn't that Banjo-Kazooie?
No, it's one of the Country Bears. Then you got Ned Shredbetter, Otto Plugnut, Oliver Chickley,
Is this like
Polly
a
Roger
TV show that they?
No, not that I know. Baron Carlot.
I'm gonna be that guy.
And Chip, and yeah, Amanda Sparkle. So I'm gonna, since you called Baron Carlot, I'll let you have him. I'm gonna go with Mo Whiplash. How about that? So A.
Banjo-Kazooie.
There you go. This is you. Pick your Mo.
That's not, and actually the robot from DuckTales had wheels for legs.
That's
had
true.
A wheel.
Good point.
He was a unicycle, like
yes.
in Base Wars.
Yes. So you know, Small World's playing.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna do. So as you can see, there's a map. There's a map. There's a race. So you have Jungle Cruise, Splash Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dinosaur, and Animal Kingdom. You have Blizzard Beach, which is the water park. Rock and Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith roller coaster ride. There's a Walt Disney Studios race where you race through the studio. Typhoon Lagoon, the other water park. Test Track in Epcot, and then you have Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Tomorrowland Speedway. So we are going to do Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Because I'm a big Haunted Mansion nerd. This is like an accurate reproduction of the Haunted Mansion ride, complete with Grim Grinning Ghosts playing as the song. So A is your go.
A is go?
Yeah.
Alright, so you gotta, okay.
And then there goes the entrance to the ride. And then you go into the floor. If you take a look, there's the painting changes, just like here's the expanding elevator room. Here's the ride, and then the ride begins, where there's this staircase that's not part of the ride.
Man,
and then there's these Mickey Mouse. There's these Mickey Mouse arrows that kind of tell you which way to go.
Oh, okay, I see what you got. But it's weird because the fist is the wider part, so I assume that's the arrow, the edge of the arrow. So it looks like
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. What's going on here? Oh, I just got hit by my own teacup. I think the weapons button is left trigger. Oh, I'm doing really bad here. And there's the.
This is very weird. These controls are like squirrely.
Well, I think it's because of the Dreamcast controller. Because I actually originally had this game for PlayStation 1. So this game was released on PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast simultaneously. The problem is I had it for PlayStation and then I sold it because apparently the PlayStation version is very hard to get. And always has been because it was a limited run towards the end of the PlayStation 1's life. And I was able to sell it at one point for like $40.
Wow.
So I got rid of it.
Destroyed me.
I did. I got rid of it, and then immediately, like 5 to 10 years later, regretted doing that, and went to go buy another copy of it for PlayStation, only to find out that it's even more money now. And I was like, screw that. But then I found out that there was a Dreamcast version, which I didn't know. And the Dreamcast version is much easier to find for some reason, and also much more affordable. So I had a Dreamcast, and I got it, and it's actually better to get the Dreamcast version because the graphics are better, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's PlayStation versus Dreamcast.
That's true.
The other thing that's pretty cool about this is, about having a Dreamcast, right, is there's some really great adapters that have been made, and that I have them that let you use PlayStation or PlayStation 2 DualShocks with the Dreamcast.
Oh, okay.
So when you play this game using a PlayStation controller with one of those adapters,
right,
plays much better than it does with the Dreamcast controller.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know about you, but I've never been a fan of the Dreamcast controller. I've never
it's
liked.
A little wonky.
Feels weird on the hands. I don't like the analog stick because it has this thing where it rotates. You can kind of feel it on your thumb, Sean, as you play, right?
Yep.
Where
I'm not even using. I gave up to start using the D-pad.
Oh, the D-pad. I forgot the D-pad works. So I've never really liked it, and which is sad because one of the great things about the Dreamcast. So Sean, you said you're not really a Dreamcast guy, right?
No, I mean it's just I don't know. There was this weird stint in the middle of the the console wars,
you just kind of were out.
The PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And I just never I don't know. I just skipped them. I was so happy with Super Nintendo. I was like, I don't care.
So I never had a Dreamcast. I wasn't one of the people that were excited by it. What happened was I was working at Funcoland in the Freehold Mall, and there was a guy that worked with me who wanted to get an Xbox, and he needed money for it. And he was like, "Sean, I will sell you my Dreamcast and my Dreamcast controllers and 3 games." Oh, I just discovered a secret passageway that I never knew existed. And I'll sell you 3 games with it for $75.
Nice.
And I was not interested in Dreamcast at all, but I was like, this is too good of a deal to pass up.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like getting you started. Kid.
Yeah, so I took the offer, and I just kind of had it so that I could play Dreamcast games. And the thing that's kind of bums me out about the controller situation with Dreamcast, and I know Frank will totally sympathize with me on this. Is the
He's posting in the chat now.
The Dreamcast is home to probably the greatest collection of fighting games ever released for any console.
Gizmo Duck, which is what Frank
Gizmo Duck. Yes, Frank. Good.
We're both
good.
idiots.
Yeah, Frank is definitely a DuckTales
Our
expert.
fact finder.
No, he's a huge DuckTales fan. I was never really into DuckTales, so I know that's probably sacrilege to say, but I was not a big fan. But yeah, so Dreamcast was home to probably the largest collection of arcade-perfect versions of fighting games. So Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, there was 2 versions of it that was released on Dreamcast. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Capcom released a bunch of obscure fighters, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Plasma Sword, like fighting games that have never been released in America before or since, that have had big followings in Japan. Mm-hmm. But they were released in America on Dreamcast. And because of the really great import situation with the Dreamcast, with the boot disc,
you destroyed me.
we'll do one more. Let's do Pirates or Space Mountain.
Let's do Pirates.
All right. So because of the boot disc situation, you can easily import. I was able to track down the Darkstalker series were released on Dreamcast in Japan, but never in America, which is weird because they released them on PlayStation in America. So I was able to get a really good version of Darkstalkers that has basically, it was like one of these like compilations where like you can pick a fighter and pick whatever version of the fighter from whatever your favorite game or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah. So also Dreamcast was home to Sean, you're a Mortal Kombat guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mortal Kombat 2 is my jam.
Mortal Kombat Gold was released on Dreamcast, and it was like a 3D version of the original Mortal Kombat, from what I remember. Oh, I just glitched out here, I think. Oh, there we go. Like, so there was Mortal Kombat 4, which came out on N64 and arcade, which was like the first 3D entry. But Mortal Kombat Gold, from what I remember, was like a remake of the original Mortal Kombat, but in 3D.
That's cool.
All right, Frank can hold me. I think Frank remembers that game, and if I'm wrong, he can correct me.
Yeah, there's some chat messages.
People are.
It's hard to take your eyes off, especially.
We're doing a kart game.
Since it's a driving game. I just got wrecked, and the fact I have like no clue where I'm going, so it's sort of like.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dark on this TV.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't understand why. Like, that's my biggest complaint right now is the whole thing feels dim.
I think it just might be the calibration.
Maybe.
And also the fact that we're not using S-Video or a VGA for this.
Yeah.
So this is another one of the levels in the game that's pretty accurate to the ride. You noticed a lot of the scenery.
I did, although I will admit that I am not a Disney.
You're not a Disney guy?
Well, I've only been once.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay.
I've only like I do remember most of this, but like I don't have like an super accurate depiction of it.
So between Frank and I, we've probably been there over 50, 60, 70 times. I've been there 27, 28 times.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I know Frank's probably got me beat because his family goes almost every year. You're beating me on this one.
It's all skill. Except for when I run into walls and get stuck inside of them temporarily.
So yeah, this game, no one ever talks about it. Not a highly sought after game. Clearly, like I said, the PlayStation version, just because it was a limited run. But I think there's some merit here in the sense that I think
it's kind of fun.
We've never seen any game really from Disney outside of Disney's Magical Adventure that was kind of a theme park based game, right? Where you got to actually go into the park and the levels were completing some sort of challenge in the ride,
Right.
Are you a fan of Magical Adventure for Nintendo?
Yeah, that's fun.
That's one of the more like unique Capcom Nintendo games, I think. Like, it really mixes a lot of different gameplay styles in a really interesting way. Because you get like the space level and
right.
Then you have the side scroller at the Pirates level in the Haunted Mansion, and then you have the racing level. It's pretty neat.
I'm a teacup.
Yeah, and you go bonkers.
Yeah, this is kind of fun. Out of all the non-Mario Kart, I like to refer to them as cartoon racers.
Sure, yeah, I think that's a good way to describe them.
God, every time that damn rock.
I hit that one too.
It's like I don't even hit it. It's like I go inside of it because I hit it so hard.
Well, there's a shortcut in there. But I think what's going on is that we're hitting it on a weird angle, and we're getting sucked into it.
It's weird. But out of all the cartoon racers, this one is not terrible.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I've always felt like there's a lot of from this era. There were a lot of generic Mario Kart rip-offs released.
Good job.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
You know, that type of shit.
Erica bought me a BK. Frank wanted to mention Project Justice too.
Oh, Project Justice.
It's a great fighting
all
game.
the way.
That's all.
That's
But,
rival schools.
Erica bought me a $1. I'm gonna stick with the Baron.
Oh, you want to do another one?
Oh yeah, it's up to you. I don't know.
All right, yeah, let's do one more.
What was it? It was a $1.99 BK Burger King themed cartoon racer where you were on a trike. I have it somewhere.
Oh, Rocket Bike.
It might be
For
Rocket
Xbox
Bike.
360 and Xbox.
Yeah.
Brooke Burke is in it.
It might. I might.
Yes,
yeah,
I had that.
I think
game.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she found it for me for $1.99, so I was like, yeah, let's get it. What the hell? And it sucked.
Pocket Bike Racer.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
then
I just
also
remember being on a 3-wheeler.
Sneak King is the other one. Where you're the Burger King and you have to sneak around these different levels collecting hamburgers. Those were cool.
Those are some fun ones. Like
They were $9.99 from Burger King.
there was a. I remember reading an interview with the guy who developed Mick Kids.
Yeah.
And how he tried. It's pretty funny because he
The
tries
game,
to
not
defend.
the characters, the game.
Yeah, the video game. Sorry. And it was interesting listening to him like defending the game because I mean myself along with probably a lot of other people find that game to be a piece of shit. And he was really adamantly defending it, like no, it's like not as bad as you make it out to be, and bippity boo and all this other stuff. It's interesting that this came out before a lot of the, before some of the Mario Kart titles, and I wonder how much if any they stole from it.
What do you mean, Nintendo?
Yeah, because I noticed that you can pick up 3 acorns and they circle around your car in a circular pattern. And I don't remember that happening in the first one.
That happened in Mario 64. So the question is,
which one
was
came out
Mario?
first?
I think Mario 64 predates this by a year to 2 years.
Interesting. But this one also, I don't remember Mario Kart having it definitely didn't have water themed.
Oh no, not at this time for sure.
And then it also didn't have different cars. Like this one, we're in log flumes or whatever.
Correct.
And I don't remember that happening until way later.
Level specific cars.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's because you think about it, the rides all have their own car.
Yeah, I mean
right?
it makes a lot of sense. 'Cause
Right.
it makes it more fun or more variety. Mario Kart. I don't know. I'm keep talking about Mario Kart, but Double Dash for the GameCube.
Oh, my least favorite of all the Mario Karts.
I have a great. It's a really funny story about. That was the first time playing that game that I ever, like lost my temper with my wife. Not like at my wife, but like in front of my wife
of her, yeah.
while playing a game. So we were playing Double Dash, and I played it a lot. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I just played it all the time because I had a GameCube, and I thought it was cool. Oh, shit, I'm a teacup again. But excuse me. So we were playing Double Dash, and when we would play, we would just do the circuit or whatever, and I usually won because I played it all the time, so I knew the game. And my wife is not a big gamer; it's just not her thing, and never has been. I'm going the wrong way. I'm fucking up royally now. But it was funny because we would play it and she really liked the game. So I didn't realize this, but there were times where I would be on my computer doing whatever, and she would be playing Double Dash because she was practicing to get better at it. And then one day she was like, "Yo, let's play. It'll be fun." I'm like, "All right." So we queue up the circuit, and I forget which circuit it was, but it's the one that has the baby Mario level that's basically just like a circle.
Yeah.
It's just like a murder zone.
Yeah, and it's 8 laps.
Yeah.
It's not 3. It's not your normal.
No,
play,
it's just like a murder.
Because it's short.
festival.
And yeah, that's right. You get hit by all kinds of nonsense.
I knew I was in trouble because she picked first, and she picked the 2 Koopas. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going up on a god tier team right now. And we were playing through the game, and she got the 3 red turtle shells, I'm not kidding, 6 times in a row. And she just annihilated me every time. And I just got so furious, not at her for beating me, but just for how...
for the game giving her
the game just being I have no chance to defend myself at all. And I'm usually... I don't remember... I used to be Toad, and there was one other one. And it's in that particular map, or course, my Toad complement being all based off of speed is basically useless. So... I just got my ass kicked, and I got so mad that I bought all these like super cheap GameStop controllers. You destroyed me on that.
Oh, because they're terrible.
But yeah, I just bought all these like super cheap ones, and I got up and I like threw the controller across the room, and I was so pissed. And she brings it up all the time, saying like, "Look how mad I made Sean." And I'm like, "But it wasn't you. Like, if I was the Koopa team and I was doing it, I wouldn't like it's just the way it is." But it was just it was very frustrating, and it was the first time I ever really like snapped in front of my wife.
Well, I'm sorry that Mario Kart
Fuck
was,
that game.
was what did
I
it.
haven't played it since. I got so pissed.
I am not a fan of Double Dash. I owned it, and I got rid of it really quick. I hated that. Absolutely hated that Mario Kart. It was the one, I felt like it really ruined the series and brought the series back. And just was not a fan of it. And they really, I felt like when the Wii one came out and the DS one came out, they really kind of, they basically backed away from a lot of the decisions that they made for that, and I was grateful for that. And they haven't really revisited a lot of those gameplay mechanics since.
Yeah, like the two-man teams.
Yeah, that's what I hated about it. Hated it.
It was weird. I mean, I thought I actually kind of liked it in the sense that there was like some variety
Right.
to it, and there was a little bit of strategy.
Well, yeah,
picking
because
characters
with the different combinations, you can.
yeah.
You
But it
go
became
anyway.
like, but there's certain ones that are just like. But what it did was it created like a
Tier system.
Yeah, like a fighting game scene.
Yeah,
setup,
right.
Where it was like, oh, you're gonna be the Koopa, because now if you're Red Koopa, you're basically God tier.
Right.
Because if you get your super, you're ruining somebody from if you're anywhere but in the front. And like, even the baby Marios were the same thing. Because if you
Yeah.
got that chomp thing, it was like, all right,
Game
well,
over.
Yep.
Game over.
The last two, 7 and 8, I liked,
Yes.
but I also grew. I think much like everyone, I felt like the blue turtle shell shit was too often and way too annoying. Like, I don't know. I just felt like when I would play, I would just get destroyed by blue turtle shells the whole game.
So I don't know. Frank can correct me on this one because I know he's paying attention. But in 8 for Wii U, I don't think that there was a way to counteract the blue turtle shell.
Correct.
And
as far as I know.
And in the Switch version, you can use the speaker, which creates the sonic wave.
Right.
And you can use that to diffuse a blue shell now in the Switch version.
What? See, I like that. That's cool.
So I don't know if that was always in the Wii U version or if it was patched in later as one of those DLCs or something.
Yeah.
But it's something I've noticed in the Switch version, and I am grateful that that mechanic exists.
Yeah, that really, I mean, honestly, that really bugged me because it was just like, it was just cheap. And like, usually the person that threw it never wins because it's like they just have just enough to catch up. Yeah, they're usually like in 7th or 8th place. So
That's another.
Like, well, that's cool. Thanks for wrecking it for me.
That's one thing about the, I guess we'll call them more modern Mario Karts that upsets me is that the algorithm that decides what weapon you get based upon your placement.
Yeah.
I feel is too stacked. Like I remember you could play the Super Nintendo version or the N64 version, and if you were in like 2nd place or 1st place, you could still get an invincible star.
Right.
You wouldn't get the lightning, right? But you still could get an invincible star. And I felt like that is now gone in 8 and 7. And I don't think that's... Like, I don't like that. I get, you don't want to give the guy in 1st place a lightning bolt, because the mechanic is it turns everybody small except for the
person that uses it. So it's like it's screwing over everyone else.
The same thing with the blue shell. You don't want to, because it's counterproductive.
It's designed to equalize someone who's in a lower tier. But I don't know. I just feel like there should be some kind of like, I don't know. I feel like there should be some kind of at least 1 or 2 defensive based things. Like you were talking about the speaker, which may be like the answer. But it did, like, just being able to pull up something to defend yourself with is worth it, because in that way the 1st place person doesn't have to just constantly, take in the ass, so to speak.
Right.
But I mean, I remember like even playing like a couple of online matches like just for fun, and like I just remember like there were people that would troll the game, like they would just purposefully hang out in 6th place and just spam turtle shells the whole time.
Or they would do the snake mechanic.
Yep.
Well, which thankfully has been defeated. There's not possible to do that in the Switch version, thankfully. For as far as I know, no one's really come up with a cheap way of winning races every time.
Well, that's good at least.
It seems like they really kind of weeded out any potential like bugs or vulnerabilities in the game.
Oh, what the fuck is this? I'll just kill myself. But yeah, this is a fun one. It's not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. And I feel like
I get my only complaint about it is I feel like the camera sometimes gets weird.
janky, yeah.
Like once in a while I'll be like, I don't know where I'm going because I can't see.
Right.
But I, like you said, it might just be because we're playing on a composite via TV. Frank says it was in the Wii U version, and there were other ways to dodge the blue shell, but it's very difficult. But it's difficult.
Let's do one more. This one should be a daytime one. Yeah.
My old ass eyes.
Oh, this is like a battle.
Oh, it's like a challenge mode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
shit.
battle, and it's okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't remember
I'm trapped.
racing in this one. Hit down. There you go.
Thanks, sir.
Remember. Where are you?
Plus, I mean, there's battle mode too, which like
Well, they fixed that. Now the Switch version has
which is
traditional
way
battle
better.
mode. But
That was really disappointing.
Yeah, that
when
was
they did
so
that.
bad.
That was
So
horrible.
bad. Like, I don't know if that was laziness or just like stupidity or what.
I think it was they just underestimated how popular battle mode is, and I was like one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, I don't know how they could screw that up though. I mean, it's like
No, I mean I'm not trying to defend it because
no, I'm just saying like
it's terrible.
I mean, a major part of my childhood was playing battle mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you were in the same boat.
Mostly because after a while it got really annoying to try to win. Once you get into like the 250cc's, it's like nope.
Oh yeah,
'Cause you just get
well. That was added. That was patched in very late in the game's life.
yeah.
It wasn't part of the original release, and I know it's in the Switch version.
I mean, like it's cool that they did it because it makes sense to make some replayability to make the game more difficult
Right.
for the more seasoned people.
There you go.
But like, it was super. I hated it. Like when you would get to the 250cc, and even in the Super Nintendo version, you would just get like just perpetually fucked by everybody behind you. It was horrible. Oh, sorry.
All right. So before we go to our big finale, I have one
Dreamcast finale.
I have one other game I want to share with everyone.
Okay.